Hey YouTube, Mad River Knife back again, presenting Mora Knives. These knives are made in Sweden. I'm not particularly reviewing one knife. I'm going to review the overall design of the manufacturer and in general, and give you kind of the options that are available. I think they have like 30 some different model numbers, so we're gonna just, the design on most of these knives are all the same. They either come in stainless steel or carbon steel, and the quality on all these knives are the same, but for different options you're going to pay a little bit different price on some of the knives. So they range anywhere from like $10 to $80. So, but overall, like, say you want the rubber grip instead of just a regular plastic, you're going to pay like $10 more for that. That's just per se, that's not definite. Don't take my word on that. You need to do some research and find the models yourselves that you would like to use or try out. But overall, most of these knives are a half tang construction, so they're not full tang. They have either a plastic or a rubber handle on them. There are some wood models that have some wood handles on them. I think those models are full tang, but I'm not quite sure, so don't quote me on that. And they all have a Scandi grind. And what a Scandi grind is, if you look at your pocket knife, you'll notice the like what you sharpen, that's called the bevel. And then you have a secondary bevel, and that's like your grind. So you have your edge angle, and that's called the bevel, and the secondary bevel is called the grind. On a Scandi grind, there is no secondary bevel. The whole grind is the edge. So this taper right here goes down straight to an edge. So that's just like one big edge right there. And the reason why they do that is because it's easy to sharpen in the field. It doesn't stay as sharp as long, but it's easy to sharpen. No matter what you're going to do, your knife's going to dull. So it's either to have a knife that lasts longer, the edge lasts longer, and harder to sharpen, or something that you need to sharpen more often, but it's a 5-year-old can sharpen it. And some of these knives are carried by some European armies. This right here is called the Bushcraft Force, I believe. Yeah, that's correct. And this is called the Scout. And the stainless steel varies on the knives that you use, but mostly it's going to be like a 440C, and the carbon versions are going to be like your higher carbon tool steel. You're not going to baton with these knives. They're not designed for that. They're designed for actual cutting. And with that Scandi grind there, you're going to be able to do a lot of fine work tasks. That's why a lot of bushcrafters and stuff like that, and survivalists, like to use this knife. A, it's easy to sharpen. B, it's cheap. C, you can do a lot with this knife that is in such a small package you're really not going to notice it being there. And putting yourself in situations where it might come into a survival situation, you're going to be more likely to carry it if it's light and small, and then something huge like a Becker BK9 or a Bussy, what have you. But overall, these knives are really a powerhouse in what you get out of them. They're a great tool. You can never go wrong with a Mora. They are amazing. If you have one, you will fall in love with what you can do with it. They might not be the prettiest knives, but they will outwork a lot of other knives of a lot higher price point. You just can't go wrong with a Mora. Most of them come with this plastic injection sheath here. It's kind of like a molded sheath. Listen to it lock in. That's, that's in there. That's a pretty good lock. I'm shaking this really good, and there's no movement in this. You have to put a little bit of force in it to get it to come out. So that's another thing. They have really good retention with their sheaths, and for the money you don't really expect to get a sheath like that, because I've seen blades with a lot more pricey, and they come with a real garbage sheath that's not really that great. I think a sheath is one of the top 4 or 5 options when you go to looking at a knife, besides for like what you're going to use it for, if like the design structure meets what you're going to use it for, the steel, the edge geometry, and then the sheath, and then also how it feels in your hand. And then other than that, if you're into aesthetics, like how it looks. But you cannot go wrong with the Mora knife. The models on the website are going to vary, so you'll need to check them out as time progresses. They'll be changing of which ones are available and which ones are not available, because you can only get so many at a time and things like that, and it's just how the business works. But if you like to check out Mora's, you can find them on our website. We will put a link below to the Mora knives in the description box. You can reach us at Mad River Knife with any questions you may have. Please stay tuned and have a great day.